Bob Jenkins live at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina, and we're looking toward the southwest there. That is the direction from which our rains came, and you can see now that there is blue sky back there. So things are looking very, very good. The track drawing is underway, and a lot of fans have stayed through this rain shower and are still ready for the resumption of this race, which should come just a little bit later. Jeff Gordon is the leader of our race with 45 laps completed here at Darlington, and he is off to his best start in the last 5 years. His average finish in 1999 is 11. That includes that 40th place finish he had at Rockingham. Ray Evernham, of course, is the crew chief on the car. Here's Jerry.
Boy, when you talk about having the best start in the last 5 years, pretty impressive 5 years, so this one's going to be even better, Ray. A great beginning in '99.
Well, we've been fortunate, kept up some of the momentum that we had at the end of last year. You know, had that little problem at Rockingham, but you know, coming back with a top 5 at Vegas was really special for us.
Didn't change the car at all in the pit stop here because of the rain. Now maybe wishing you had.
Yeah, Jerry, didn't really get a good reading off the first set of tires. You know, here you start on your qualifiers. The top 10, you have to start on your qualifying tires, which are scuffs. You're going to run on stickers normally the rest of the day, and normally we'll put stickers on it and see what it does then, but now looking at the tires that came off of it, I wish I had made a change. You know, we're a little bit tight going in and a little bit loose coming off, and when it's doing two things at once, that's not good.
But a lot of crew chiefs probably want to know what kind of right front spring you got, so I'm not going to ask you that. But what about your efforts here at Darlington over the years? I mean, it's been like very difficult for any driver to win more than 1 or 2 in a row. He's won 4 consecutive Southern 500s. Are you guys?
Well, Darlington is a great place for a race team. It gives everybody a chance to perform. You know, you have to have a great driver, obviously, and somebody that knows how to control the car, not run the tires off it. But it gives the chassis man something to work on because it's very difficult to set up for, and it lets the pit crew be involved. So there's a lot of things that go into winning a race at Darlington. You know, it's we haven't always had the fastest car, and the fastest car doesn't always win here.
You co-own the Busch car. Now, considering what happened to Bobby Labonte on Friday morning, getting injured in a Busch car, which could jeopardize his chance to win a Winston Cup championship, have you rethought or do you think about what could happen putting Jeff Gordon in a Saturday race?
Well, we actually thought a lot about that even before we started it, and we know that that is one of the things that could happen. But, you know, life is life. He could get hurt on a Sea-Doo or break his finger playing the piano. And unfortunately, you know, that happened to Bobby. But these guys are going to race, and the best thing that you can do is protect them the best way that you can and put a lot of effort into it and hope that a freak accident like what happened to Bobby the other day just doesn't happen.
People ask us all the time, Ray Evernham does so much. He's in charge of so much. He handles so many things at Hendrick Motorsports. How much longer? You talk about a driver looking at it maybe a 5-year plan. How much longer will you continue to deal with everything day to day and run this operation for the 2014?
Well, it's as long as it's fun, and right now it's still fun. Obviously want to go and do other things at some point in my life, but right now we're winning races and we're having fun. And I enjoy being at the racetrack. It's kind of my hobby. If working all day and helping manage things is my job, being here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and having to, you know, input on the chassis on that car is my hobby.
And, you know, people don't realize that the crew members and the crew chiefs make a tremendous sacrifice. You've got Mary and Ray J at home, and being able to be home with them, you don't have a whole lot of time, but what little time you have is quality.
Yeah, and what's great now is the motor coach lots and a lot of the things that the racetracks are doing for us. They can come and spend some time. This camper trailer park, we call it, has really brought the family atmosphere back to Winston Cup racing. You know, they've got the drivers' kids down in one lot, you know, Matt Martin and guys running around playing with little cars. And on the other end, we had my boy Ray J and Tyler Parrott and Larry McReynolds' kids, and we're down there. They're growing drivers, we're growing crew chiefs.
And they got a nursery, they got a playground out here, and it is pretty nice. I mean, people laugh and joke about sports becoming a family sport, but the families stay together. You're all in one big group. And you were talking about even last night, you walked out of the motorhome lot, walked up on the racetrack, and we're looking at the track as far as how much rubber was down. I mean, you're basically doing homework at night. Yeah,
and sometimes, you know, if you just sit and look, you can get this old lady to talk to you a little bit. And you know, our car yesterday afternoon didn't have the balance I was looking for. It obviously doesn't have it right now, but hopefully we can fix it. And you just you know, it's kind of like an old dirt track. You just got to go out and look at the grooves and see if it'll tell you a story.
I know you got to go. Thanks for taking time to visit. Good luck the rest of the day. You guys have had great runs here at Darlington. Keep it up.
Well, thanks, Jerry. And one thing, what does Neil Goldberg do when it rains?
I'm not really sure what he does when it doesn't rain, but anyway, no, he's our producer, and he's in the truck laughing right now.
All right.
All right, thank you. All right, Ray Evernham visiting, even gets a shot at our producer, Neil Goldberg. Didn't mention Mike Wells, our director, but he will get a shot later, I'm sure, from Ray Evernham, as they are trying to continue to dry the track here at Darlington. Bob?
And rather successfully, too. So if things continue the way they are, we'll be racing before too long. Jeff Gordon, of course, started from the pole here this afternoon. And the most recent winner from the pole in the spring event here at Darlington was Dale Jarrett back in 1997. There you can see some other drivers that have won from the pole position in this TranSouth Financial 400. So there's drying going on at the top of your screen. You can see the jet dryers that are working the racetrack, and the pit crew members are working the pit area, trying to get it dry. But the good news is, as you can see over the third turn wall, the skies are clearing, and we should be in good shape now. But in the meantime, we're going to take it to the green flag of last year's TranSouth Financial 400 here at Darlington. Are moving, and that's a good sign, isn't it?
That is a good sign. They've got a little bit of work on pit road. You see on the right side of your screen, a little water on pit road. As soon as they get that dried off, I think we'll be able to go racing.
And Mike Skinner's coming in, Doc.
Well, Mike Skinner will come down. Mike Sears will go out and put the jack beneath the car. Mike Lingerfeld and Kevin Gaybird will go out and adjust the trailing arm on the right side. What they will try to do is lengthen the right rear trailing arm, which will lengthen the wheelbase on the car. They will adjust the bleed in the right front, left front, and right rear shocks. If you just joined us, what they're trying to do with the current Winston Cup point leader's car is loosen the car up. The car is very, very tight. He went from 4th starting position to 23rd right now. And Benny, they're still making the adjustments.
Right here you see that's a tape measure they're using from the fender back to the wheel. And Larry McReynolds is holding the radio. I don't know what that is, but the front of the trailing arm has an eccentric. And he's got the button down, and he's telling to the guy, talking to the guy underneath, and telling him when he's moved it. The front of the trailing arm has an eccentric on it. They loosen the big nut and turn it, and they go back and forth with the trailing arm.
And the field coming down off of corner number 4, but Mike Skinner is able to get that work completed and gets out and not lose a lap.
Now that's pretty slick, because they knew the guy was going to have to use both hands to hold that ruler up.
And he couldn't key the mic.
He couldn't key the mic, so McReynolds goes around and holds the mic key down.
Yep. Rusty Wallace getting set to go once again. Bill Weber is down in his pit. Rusty, by the way, is starting in 18th.
Yeah, and he is in 18th, and Skinner's bunch is pulling a Rusty down there, changing all 4 shocks. You brought the same car here you had last week. You've advanced some positions. How's it running?
Not too bad. It was a little tight when we started the race. We've made some adjustments, and we have to take it from there. The lap times weren't really off that far, and about 1/10.5 or 2/10 or something like that. And just before the caution, had about 6 or 8 cars that were coming back to us, so we'll just have to see what happens from there.
You took that car back to the shop, Rob, and there was not a thing wrong with it. You had a good point here on Friday morning. That shows how close to the edge you can get. You can be perfect on Saturday, and one slight change and you're way off on Sunday.
Yeah, if any of these guys that race long enough, I'll tell you, they've all been through it. And I was just talking to Travis Carter down there. Don't be surprised if Jimmy Spencer don't do a little chassis adjustment on his car. I mean, they're not happy at all. It's just the way it happens. The weather comes in and goes and leaves us on a Saturday night. Things change.
Okay, they're going back to work, and we'll go check out the tip on the Spencer car.
Still drying the track here. These laps are counting, by the way, so 47 have now been completed. One car that's had a considerable number of drivers in it already this year, the number 90 car, is being driven by Ed Barrier this weekend, and because Derek Cope failed to make the race, his Bryan sponsorship has come back to the number 90 car.
Just for this race, see Ed Barrier adjusting looks like he's adjusting the rearview mirror, or I don't know what he was doing up there in the roof of the car. Maybe adjusting the mirror. Ed Barrier, drives the NASCAR Busch Series car, the Lear Ford.
And this is his 6th NASCAR Winston Cup race. And there's Jimmy.